Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. Look at this, y'all. I got a green look on. Green look, I know, hard to believe, but I kinda like it. I know. But when I thought of this brand, this was the palette I thought of. So we're moving into a new letter. We're in the letter N. And let's just do it. We're going with Nars today, right? And there are so many products I think of when I think of Nars that are just so good. You know what I mean? Like, just so good. And however, with that said, it's the same old stuff in new packaging almost. You know what I mean? Like, very seldom do they go this away. Usually they're down the middle, straight, narrow, mostly like tones that are skin tone looks, which makes sense for your everyday, I guess, your everyday person. I mean, I guess there's people that wear color every day though too. But you know what I mean? And I like both. Yes, I'm more neutral, absolutely. But I do like color. You know what I mean? I do like that. But again, Nars is known for this though, which makes sense considering the brand and the following I guess it has, and all that. But when I think of Nars, I think of their Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is not my favorite, to be fair. Just putting that out there. Especially after finding Natasha Denona. And their Sheer Glow Foundation. And of course, Orgasm. Who doesn't know of that, But like, these are things that are just pop. Somebody says Nars, this is what you're thinking, right? And you're kind of thinking very provocative. That's the other thing I'm thinking too. You know what I mean? But let's get started on what I am wearing. So first, for under eye correcting, I am wearing the Nars in medium. I feel like I probably should have went for light. This is a little bit too dark, but it does work. It does work. So it is a thicker consistency than the Natasha Denona, and much more pigmented. Now it is darker in tone than my Natasha Denona too. You can see through the glass the difference, correcting wise. So I barely need a little dot of it, and then I just go in and dot it, with my rougher, just where I need it. But I do like it for an under eye corrector. I do. It's probably Sigma, then Natasha, then Nars, to be fair. Alright. Foundation. This is a good one. If you can find your shade, this is a really good foundation. And it is the Sheer Glow Foundation. I have mine in medium to Santa Fe. However, I think this is more of my winter shade than a summer shade. So it is a little bit lighter for me right now. But with a little bit of bronzer, can't even tell. But also, I do think I need to go up a shade or two. So I'm checking into that now because I do like this foundation a lot. For under the eye setting, I used my Lunar Beauty translucent powder in translucent light. So Universal setting powder translucent light. I love this. I could set my whole face with it, to be fair, but I did just set through the T-zone. Now, when I said bronzer to lighten it up, that's not what I did today. I actually used my Bare Mineral Pro powdered foundation to set everything, which then gave it a little more of my skin tone. For bronzer, of course, I used Laguna. Come on now, that's the other thing you have to think of when you think of bronzer. And I actually have this palette here. This particular palette's called Make Up Your Mind. Now they have something, they don't have this anymore, but they have the Laguna where it's got like the 3 bronzers, I think, on the bottom, or 2 bronzers and something, and then eyeshadows, where this is 1 bronzer, 3 blushes, and 8 shadows. I love this. Like, there's nothing in here I don't love. Orgasm isn't really my favorite shade. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's just got, it just shows too much texture, especially now. Laguna, I don't mind it for bronzer. It's okay. Like, it's not the best bronzer in the world by no means, but the tone and all that, it works. I would say my favorite blush is the Dolce Vita, technically, from Nars, which is this one. Although there's this peachy shade up here, which is called Luster. I really want to give that a whirl and see if maybe that's the peach blush I've been searching for my whole life. This is their powder. Now they've reformulated, so this, I would assume, would still have talc in it, where their new bronzers don't, so I can't really, I don't know how that, the difference is in performance. However, for bronzer today, I'm actually using, what am I using here? I don't know what I'm using. I'm using a ton of palettes, actually. Let's get this. No, I'm not. So I pulled out my Narcissist. I have the 1 and 2, Want It 1, Want It 2. I didn't use this today, though. I did use this one instead, because this is more of what they're coming out with, like at holidays and stuff. This particular one is called Exposed. So I think, if I'm reading it right, Tell All, that's the highlighter I'm wearing. This, I forget about it because it's in a palette, but this highlighter is stunning. It goes, it doesn't matter what blush shade I have on. It works with any eye look. It's just the perfect highlighter. Like, I cannot explain it to you. It's gorgeous. And for blush, I went into this orangey color, so I thought, but it is more of coral, as I assumed it would be. And I believe it is called Make You Mine, if I'm reading it correctly. Now, I have used these. They're getting hard panned. It is a baked formula. I like them, but for the price tag, buy one. You don't buy them all. Like, if there's one in particular that's got like every shade you're gonna like, then yes, go for it, try it. But don't buy them like the Hourglass palettes, is what I'm saying. Because you really shouldn't buy the Hourglass, although at least it's got pretty packaging, much prettier packaging. So that is what is on my face for today. Okay, lip liner. I know I have a Nars lip liner, but I couldn't find it today, so I just went with Kevin Kwan in Minimal, which is like these lip liners, perfect. Now, this doesn't really go with this, but back in the day, another thing that you probably heard of from Nars is Turkish Delight lip gloss. And generally, you pair it with a brown liner, like maybe Sweet Tea or something. And it's just a really pretty color. I paired it with Minimal, which is kind of my lip color, and then put that on with it. And it works. I don't think it necessarily goes with this look, but I do like the Nars lip glosses. I like, really, I like a lot from, I like their lip glosses. I like their lip infused, what is that called? Hold on. It is called, I'm sorry. Oil infused lip tint. My eyes are getting so, I really wish they would write things bigger, but this is in Primal Instinct, and I like this. It kind of feels like a lip oil, but it is more of a tint. It is what it is. Let's just do it like that. But I do like it a lot. I like that shade in particular a lot, especially on just like days I don't want a line or anything, but I want something really close to my lip color. That works, and I like the feel of it. I can apply it, not have to worry about it. Again, it is like a lip oil, so you do have to worry about it like riding up, especially if you're not having a lip liner on. But just don't put it on thick, and you'll be fine. But the main thing, and I have a ton of their eyeshadow palettes, and like I said, it's basically all browns, nudes, pinks, that sort of type of thing. You know what I mean? Which is fine. That's fine. But on this particular palette, they kind of stepped out a little bit around Christmas. I think it was Christmas 2020, maybe 2021. I'm not really for sure. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, please. Because it was different. So different. And the packaging, gorgeous. All right. It's this bad boy right here. And it's Climax is the name of it. Of course, that's the name of it, right? Did we think anything less? But look. Don't get me wrong. This is still fairly nude. But it's more of a grungier nude, I think. But there's so many different looks you can go with this. Again, the base of it probably is going to be the same. Like your base building part of it. But it's your lids. You can go blue. You can go green. You can go more of a copper color. You can go more of a champagne color. Like, there's options here. You know what I mean? That's what I like. Because, yes, most days I do just want a neutral look. But, hey, they have a blue and they got browns to match it with. So, I'm game. They got a green and I don't even like green. But look at this look. It's beautiful. So let's get started. So the first shade, again, don't know if I'm reading it correctly from the back, so I'll point as I do it. I believe this is Open Wide. Of course it is. And it's this shade here. It's like skin toned. And I'm just going to set my lid with that shade. I used... What did I use today? Oh, and Laura Mercier All Natural for my base. Dropping everything. Whoa. Alright, and then, and I don't think you can get this anymore. They still have a couple of palettes. I looked on their website before filming this. We're going to go to Private Show to start this look, which is this one right here. I went onto their website to see like what palettes they do have available. They do have like 4-pan palettes available, and then they have, I think it's Afterglow. Is that the name of it? The newest one they just released. Again, it looks like so many. I already have. So I didn't get it. And don't get me wrong, I love my Nars palettes. These shadows are great to work with, you know what I mean? But they're nothing like revolutionary as far as color story, as far as anything like that. I will say the packaging is nice, the formulas are nice, the metallics are nice. Like, I don't have any problem with them either. It's just that it's not like it's something different from the brand, you know what I mean? But if you're, you know, a Nars fan and you buy just that, I can see why each year you pick up the palette, because it's almost similar to the one you had before, but not exact. So you are getting a little bit of a twist, I suppose. But it's just not enough for me with the collection I have to say, oh yeah, I need it. You know what I mean? But I do understand where people do fall and why they do buy them. As far as the blush palettes, I don't know if you can go through one of them. Again, if you just are like brand loyalty and you're buying like their palette and their blush palette every year, like, would you go through it? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, we're going to go into this green shade now, which I think is called Up in Smoke. This one right here. Again, I don't know. My whole thing again, though, is with these collections that are not permanent. What if it is your favorite palette? Like, I'll be honest, I love this palette. And I will be sad if I ever went through this palette. I really would. Because I do like it so much. But I don't wear green looks. I forgot about this. I completely, I can't believe I did that either. When I was trying to find like the perfect green look. Because here's the thing, this is it for me. Because it's not all green. And I did realize that. Like, it cannot be all green look. I just can't do it. But this particular color story, the way it is applied, the fact that, yes, you can definitely see there's green in it, is great for me. This is up my, street as far as color stories and stuff. And it's gorgeous. Quick, it's the shadows are just easy to use. We're going to take that same green under the lower lash line. Like, there's not much from Nars that is just like a dud, so to say. But it's nothing that screams fun, I guess, to me. It's more like their color stories and almost their aesthetic is to enhance your own skin tone and eye color and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm not into makeup like that. I'm more into it to have fun. I'm wearing the cream liner by Tarte also. Okay, now we're going to go into the shade Public Eye, which is this one right here, the darkest shade, very lightly. And I'm going to apply it to the outer corner and into the crease a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And again, these colors just all go good together. Whether, even right now with the green that's on there and applying this shade, if I wanted to put the blue on the lid, I could, and it'd still turn out good. If I wanted to put the copper, the shit, like, it really wouldn't matter. Even with the green, it would still all work. And that's nice to know because, sometimes we don't have the eye that makeup artists have. So it's nice when no matter what color you're picking and choosing, they all just work together. Okay. Now we're going to pick up that metallic green, which I believe is called Hooked. Gosh, that's gorgeous. This is just a gorgeous color. Like, I'm hoping you all are seeing how metallic and vibrant the shade is. I'm hoping it's coming across. And it's a dark green, but yet at the same time, it does have like a gold hue to it to make it not as like deep and dark. It's like the perfect middle ground for me, in my opinion. It isn't too grungy, but it's not like a bright lime green either, you know what I mean? But it does have like almost gold, almost green type of reflect to it. And it lays so nice on my lids. So, so nice. That color. I'm not, you all know how I feel about green too. But there's just something about that particular color. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay. For inner corner, let me find my brush. Where did it go? We're going to go into the shade, I believe it's called Passion Play, if I'm reading it right, which is this one right here, like a champagne. And we're just going to put it in the inner corner. These metallics, let me tell you, they are metallicing. I forgot about this. I don't know how, but I did. And this palette is special. I said it when I first got it. And yes, well, it can't be that special if you forgot about it, but it isn't like that. We're going to go into that dark shade again, Public Eye. This one here, and I'm going to line the top lash line and bottom lash line. It's the fact that I just have so much in my collection that I put it away, and if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, unfortunately. Now, if I left it over here to sit, that's a different story. I would have talked about it way more. But because I just put it away, and that's almost how I don't use my Nars blushes and stuff too, because they're put away and they're not sitting right here like my Hourglass and my single blushes, that I forget about them. And, you know, again, when you can't purchase the palette anymore, I don't want to talk about a palette really. But at the same time, if you ever run across this palette, it's gorgeous. You will not be disappointed at all. And I really kind of thought maybe they'd bring it back. Because I do think that this palette had a good, like, people were raving about it. They wanted it because it was a little bit different for Nars. It was a fresh of breath air, so to say. So I really thought that they would bring it back, but maybe it didn't sell as well as I thought it did or would have, considering the hype I heard on it. And then, of course, when I felt the quality of it, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to do well. At least in my head, I thought it would. But I mean, they are still around, so they must be doing something right. Okay, got that line pretty good. I didn't really take it all the way over this time. I kind of took it like 3/4 for the waterline. So for top lashes, I am using, I know I should have grabbed for the mascara of Nars, but I guess if I had to pick something, it's that. Not a big fan of their mascara. But I'm going to use the Gucci for the top lashes. I am not a big fan. It always makes me look like I got raccoon eyes. But did you all grab this palette when it launched? Did you think it was a breath of fresh air? Do you still have the palette? Did you pan it? Because I think maybe I did put it away, so I didn't pan it, to be fair, too. Because, see, I know me, and things are out of sight, out of mind, then I won't use it, and then there's no chance of me panning it. But I do think I'm going to have to leave that one out. So far we're in the letter N, and there's been 2 palettes that I'm like, yeah, I need to pull these out more. And that would be my Laura Mercier Caviar one, and this one. And we're in the letter, so we're halfway. So I feel like that's saying something there too. Alrighty. And y'all know how I feel about this mascara. Do I really need to say anything? Like, can we say Gucci mascara and YSL Lash Clash, the 2 best mascaras in the world for top lashes, for bottom lashes, Lancome, Def and Seals, or MAC. Although the Cali Ray, come hell or high water, hasn't been bad for the lower lash line either, to be fair. But I don't want to say too much on that because, you know, I mean, yes, so far it's great, but it's not been like a year of a long thing. I've used it for years and years, like I have Lancome and MAC. So alrighty, so that's the final look using Nars products. I'm rather impressed. I will say, the highlighter is stunning out of that palette. I do want to try those blushes because I just ain't feeling those blushes for some reason. They're okay as far as pigmentation, but I don't really like the way it's laying, to be fair, or how quickly it has faded, to be fair. Laguna's fine. The bronzer's holding nicely. Again, this is the baked ones. I want to try the other blushes too again. Granted, I know the formula's changed, but just to see how I feel about them. So I may leave the blush palettes out too, just to get a feel for them. But yeah, I don't know really if I would suggest the palettes at all, to be fair. The blush palettes, I don't know. Like, in theory, this palette makes sense. If you travel, you have your bronzer, you have your 2 blushes. Although I feel like, and maybe instead of Orgasm had a highlighter there, and then had your 2 blushes, because personally, I feel like I'm going to go through that bronzer way before I go through these blushes. And let me just see something really quickly. Yeah, they don't come out. That's what I was wondering. That's why I grabbed my magnet. I was thinking, well, maybe it's like a refillable thing, but it isn't. The eyeshadows don't come out. So none of this comes out. Now that would be another thing they could kind of think about doing too, is if you have a palette like this, to be able to pop them out and even refill them, and maybe you don't have the shade you used to have, but just have certain shades then, you know, that you could choose from. That way you do have a to-go palette, because like I said, I definitely would have a bronzer and probably a pinky blush and a peachy blush, and then I definitely would want a highlighter. I don't, maybe even 4 shadows instead of 8, because I think I would want another bronzer. But then again, if you could refill them, it wouldn't matter anyway. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on it. But yeah, overall, Nars, they got some bangers. They do. I mean, again, the names to them could be a little bit of tricky, to say the least. But the quality is good. The packaging is like, as an all-in-one type thing, money versus packaging versus product, it's not bad. It isn't. It really isn't. Now the blushes as a palette, the baked, like the holiday things, those ones I'm not like 100% sure on. I almost think that maybe, like, I hate to say it out of Nars, but like Too Faced on them, where they put in the generic formulas almost, although lately even those have been, I think, pretty darn good. But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. What is your favorite product by Nars? I mean, they got a lot of them. They got a lot of #1 sellers. They really do. Let me know yours. We'll continue on with the alphabet. I don't know if I got any more N's or not, to be fair. I'll have to look. If I miss, I'll go back. Me and my alphabet just isn't going hand in hand either, to be honest. So there's that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday, unless there's a new launch or I just want to film. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.